exactly what I was saying.
Well,
How many times did you make that joke last year?
Oh yeah, when we were up at the bastion, I was doing the whole Davy Crockett thing. I was like,
I see 14 lines at 5 deep. That's 80? No, that's 70. Good thing I got that on camera. We're the dumb idiots who die.
alright.
How far out? Okay. It's as far as those two trees.
Oh, you want us all the way out there?
Yeah, so they can swing the guns around.
Okay.
These trees. The closest one.
Oh.
Yeah, a line from where this guy's standing
Yeah.
across that tree.
Oh, yeah.
Couple guys on this side, couple guys on that side.
We were gonna like basically take up on the burns.
That's fine too.
Alright, cool.
Alright, artillery!
Alright, come on, boys.
Prime and load?
Gotta be good to be a part of them. We're going to be getting underway with the battle in just a moment. This afternoon battle is representing the battles of Chippewa and Lundy's Lane. So for a little bit of lead up to it, on July 3rd of 1814, American forces crossed and landed on either side of Fort Erie, a little bit further down about where Erie Beach is, a little bit further north about where the Peace Bridge is, and surrounded the fort. The British had less than 150 men defending the fort. The Americans had over 3,000, so the battle was a very short one. It was one cannon shot before they surrendered the fort and the Americans occupied it. Immediately afterwards, they left a small force behind and marched north, encamping along Ushers or Street just south of the village of Chippewa. While they were encamped there, they celebrated the 4th of July was celebrated, and on July the 5th, British forces out of Chippewa began to move down and began to skirmish with them in their camp, beginning the Battle of Chippewa.
Lord.
The opening phases of the Battle of Chippewa were small skirmishes as British and Canadian light troops, supported by Indigenous allies, began to fire over the creek towards the American encampment. The American commander, held by the name of General Brown, did not care for this, and he ordered the 3rd Brigade, led by Peter Buell, Running Buffalo, that's who Porter Avenue is named after, to lead his militia and Indigenous allies into the woods to clear out the enemy, which led to bushwhacking fire forth through the woods. These initial troops you're seeing on the field are examples of light troops, soldiers that are trained to scout, skirmish, and spread out on the battlefield to just pick away at the enemy. Light troops would rarely win a battle, but they were very good at scouting for the enemy and weakening the enemy force.
Send out that way, boys.
Alex,
Fill the gap that way.
alright, there we go.
As the main American force comes out onto the battlefield, you notice a variety of different uniforms being worn. Traditionally, the American Army was supposed to be wearing blue, but they ran into supply issues getting a hold of blue dye. That is a natural result of declaring war on your blue dye supplier. Enough so that by 1814, the cost of blue dye was 15 times what
Okay.
the cost was. So you saw a variety of uniforms. You saw twill or beige uniforms, like you see the light troops out here. You saw some of the blue. You saw black, green, but you also saw a lot of gray being worn, which you see troops marching out now. At Chippewa, about a third of the American force were wearing these gray coats, which were actually work jackets that would have been issued to the soldiers. And when the men were initially told they would be wearing them as their combat dress, they were not happy. When you join the Army,
Get ready to fall back, Willie.
you get a snappy looking uniform, and these are stable jackets. But those men in gray proved themselves to be one tough cookie out on the battlefield, and the gray coats become immortalized at battles like Chippewa and Lundy's Lane.
Right, hold up here.
Now across the field from them you see some of the Canadian forces and the British forces.
Right, what? Make sure the Canadians got room to move.
The white dragoons are the ones that have the helmets.
Alright, move right, move right, move right.
Let's move.
You're also going to see the 2nd York Militia in their green uniforms. Due to the cost, every militiaman could receive a nice, red coat. So they kind of had to make do with whatever they had available. And green cloth was in plentiful supply and was sent out to equip the men.
Flight paces! Set!
Fire! Keep up the fire!
Hurry up! Five paces!
Forward, please, sir.
17. All right.
Now, as the soldiers are firing, you're going to notice every once in a while their muskets will flick instead of bang. That is no fault of the soldiers themselves. That is the technology of the creating sparks that land in a side dish called the pan. It is all explosive. And in that condition, a gust of wind can affect it. So wind, rain, humidity.
Firing on your own time, guys.
Firing on your own time. Earlier today, this is a credit to the soldiers and the reenactors on the field how well they are doing getting these muskets. Now, in good conditions, a musket will misfire on average about 1 in 5 times, about 20%. You add those other adverse weather conditions, these weapons can quickly become sticks instead of firearms. Now, another issue with these firearms is most of them are spoon-formed.
Good hunting, guys.
Down the barrel.
You have your
That
wing on
means
this side.
accuracy is not
Keep fighting
great
his
on
lights.
this.
I don't have to worry about it. Have fun. Burn powder, boys, as much as you can.
Gotcha. We're independent.
You're basically independent. You're operating as
At
lights.
200 yards, your margin of error is going to be as low as 18 feet in any direction. So how on earth do you get a weapon that doesn't like to work all the time, and you can't really aim with to be effective as we saw it earlier, the volley?
That's a flint lost.
Because if somebody misfires, there's enough people firing, that there's enough lead going across the battlefield, aim is no longer necessary. So you're now seeing the other problem. Black powder produces smoke. We've got a good breeze, so it's clearing it away quickly, but you can see how much smoke these muskets create on the battlefield. You can imagine a battlefield like Chippewa or Lundy's Lane where there are thousands of soldiers and cannons going
All right,
off.
Nate.
It did not take long for the field to become completely obscured in smoke, that infamous fog of war. In fact, at the Battle of Lundy's Lane, they were less than 15 paces apart at one point and could not see one another.
Nathan, you good?
In the air, they were so close.
I'm gonna take a hint. I lost my flint.
Every army in the world has the same technology, and they understood that Shoot me, I'm on your side. So the British, they're in red. The Americans traditionally are blue. There's green cover.
You gonna go down?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for them to fire. They've
Will, cover the retreat, don't die.
I see that. Get them loaded. We got a fire. Take aim! Fire! Cover load! Half cock, shoulder arms. Half cock, shoulder arms. Half cock, shoulder arms. 21st! To the right of them! Face! Forward! Arch! And hold! Out! Front! Private load!
Tell my wife I love her.
Half cock, shoulder arms. Half cock, shoulder arms. Remove. To the right of that. Stay. Forward. Up. Stop. Stop. 16. 3 paces left. 1, 2, 3.
Fire and retire. Fire and retire.
Fire retire, 16.
Legend of their military, and to this day it is still worn. If you visit West Point Military Academy, the cadets do not wear blue, they wear gray. Chippewa is just Canadians in the crowd, give a cheer. Well, you will be very pleased to know that on the battlefield today, there is a reenactment unit that historically was 100% Canadian. Even their officers were Canadian, so feel free to give them a cheer if you'd like. All right, I'll point them out to you. So they're fighting for the Americans. That guy right there. If you look
I need some ammo.
Oh. Here, okay.
Can I steal one of your
Oh,
torches?
oh yeah, go ahead. Have fun.
Thank you.
Give them Hill 54th.
joined up with the Americans and formed their own unit. Their commanding officer was actually a member of the legislature. So you think you got problems with your MPs today. But good news, the commander Joseph Wilcox, he got what every Canadian trader should get, and that is a brazen buffalo.
If they press,
Close left.
then I'm okay with that.
Left.
A little bit more
Left.
drama.
Left. Left.
Well, the British drew back to the protection of Fort Niagara and Fort. Hunkered down. The Americans believed that the naval forces would come and support them, and so they waited on the heights, looking out towards the land.
Good job, lads.
After waiting for over 2 weeks, the Americans decided to withdraw back to their camp in Chippewa. As they were
I'm not. But I'm saying.
harassing them,
I'll take
the
the shot.
Americans sent
Left leg, ready! Ready!
No, because if they
Time and load!
You're bringing up reinforcements on the right.
Now, the opening phase of Lundy's Lane is that brigade basically standing about 450, 500 yards away from the British line and refusing to withdraw. Winfield Scott was a very proud commander. The enemy. He had a personal mantra that he believed you could not withdraw with honor without losing peace and authority to command.
Battalion volume coming.
One of his commanders, a man named Major Henry approached him and asked him to withdraw. Winfield Scott replied, "You know my standards, Major." Leavenworth would be denied. His regiment would take heavy losses. In fact, they would lose 14 standard bearers carrying the colors on the field. It was killed 15 because the staff scattered in 2 locations.
Time and load!
Some of the Americans here, right in front of where I'm standing up in the tent here, you notice the takeaway of the clicks? If you have trouble firing, this is one way to fix the problem. It's called napping. You tap away at the edge, it breaks away pieces, and it gives you a fresh new edge, so you hopefully get a much better spark. Don't get caught. This is where it comes from. If you're napping your flint, your opponent knows you do not have a working musket. Don't get caught napping. Now, as night began to approach at Lundy's Lane, the Americans still stood enemy fire. But as the night set in, American reinforcements arrived and they launched an attack on the fringe, attacking the British flank, and then in the dark, charging the British guard. They successfully attacked the British guns and the heights as more British reinforcements poured in. In the hills, and demanded that they retake the guns. This would lead to hours of fighting deep in the dark as the British would launch multiple charges up the hill, and at close range they would be blasting away at one another. The fighting at Lundy's Lane was by far some of the bloodiest and most brutal fighting out on any Canadian battlefield. And by the time the battle was done, about 1 out of every 3 men who set foot on the battlefield had been killed, wounded, or captured.
you see men in a variety of outfits. These are men of the militia. The United States was required of all able-bodied men. They were required to serve anywhere from a few days to a few months service. In fact, some could be recruited for as long as a year, during which time they would receive some training and some equipment. The one thing that was often lacking for them was uniforms. Since every single able-bodied male in the country was in it, that's a heck of a lot of uniforms to have on ready. So militia would try to get, they would try to build up uniforms based on similar coats that they had or similar styles. And sometimes they would even purchase large quantities of cloth so that their militia company could take the cloth home and make uniforms out of it. I would be remiss if I didn't point as well, amongst the British and Canadian lines, you may have noticed some gray-coated soldiers with furry hats. These are the Canadian Fort Erie. This was a Pensacola regiment, which was like a regular regiment raised in Canada. They were raised out of Quebec. When the war broke out, there were many in Canada who worried if the Quebecois would remain loyal to the British. But if I may paraphrase a Quebecois gentleman at the time, we do not love our father king, but we hate brother Jonathan more. Lundy's Lane ended in confusion. In the heavy fighting, in the smoke, and the darkness, neither side was able to really tell where the enemy was. After the final British charge, many of the Americans believed, after a long pause, the enemy had withdrawn. And with heavy casualties, including the Senior General Brown being wounded, the interim commander, a fellow by the name of Eleazar Wellick Ripley, he made the decision to withdraw to preserve his force. He withdrew, and in the smoke and the darkness, the British advanced, just as the Americans had vacated the heights and taken as many guns as they could. And seeing the United they believed that the enemy had retreated. Both sides left the field claiming victory. And the British, believing the Americans would come back, actually built barricades out of horse carcasses to prepare in case the enemy returned. Come the morning, the number of dead on the field was so high, they could not bury them all. They were forced to burn the bodies in huge funeral pyres.
Mr. Phillips, back to the colors. That's a very clever way to die.
Have fun, boys.
Under promise that they would no longer serve until formally detained. This was a win-win because not only did these men get to go home, but it also meant that you did not have to pay and take care of all of these prisoners that were now in your that you've taken.